Did you know that ensuring your home appraiser is properly licensed could literally save you thousands of dollars on your real estate investment? Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're breaking down exactly how to verify a home appraiser's license in the state of New York. Honestly, this is one of those crucial but often overlooked steps in real estate that can completely make or break your property transaction. Here's the reality. Relying on an unlicensed or even just an improperly classified appraiser in New York's incredibly expensive real estate market, it can completely derail your mortgage. Imagine getting all the way to the closing table, only to find out your appraisal is totally invalid because the person who evaluated the property wasn't legally authorized to do so. We're talking major financial loss, massive delays, and just a lot of heartbreak. That's exactly why we're here today. We're going to make sure that never happens to you. Okay, let's dive into this. On our agenda today, we have a clear step-by-step roadmap. We're going to cover why verification is so important, understand the specific New York license types, walk through the exact verification process, look at some essential federal tools, troubleshoot common search pitfalls, and wrap up with a summary. Let's start with Section 1, Why Verify Appraiser Licenses. So in New York, property appraisal is basically a foundational pillar of the banking and real estate sectors. It's all governed by Article 6E of the Executive Law, which is designed to protect consumers like us from fraud. Now take a look at this number, 3,181. According to the ASC National Registry, that is the exact number of active real estate appraisers operating in New York right this second. With over 3,000 professionals out there, you can't just blindly trust the system, right? You absolutely have to vet the specific individual who is evaluating your property. Moving on to Section 2, Understanding New York License Types. Before you even look up a license, you've got to understand what you're looking for. Federal regulations under FIRIA, along with the New York State Board of Real Estate Appraisal, have established 4 distinct categories of credentials. At the entry level, we have the assistant. They are out there gaining experience, and they must work under direct supervision. Next step up is the licensed residential appraiser. They can evaluate non-complex 1 to 4 unit residential properties, but their limit is strictly capped at a transaction value of up to $1 million. Then we step up to certified residential. These folks can appraise any 1 to 4 unit residential property completely regardless of value or complexity. Finally, at the very top tier, we have the certified general appraiser. They are authorized to appraise literally all property types, including commercial, with absolutely no value limit whatsoever. Knowing these tiers is absolutely crucial so you can be sure the appraiser you hire is actually qualified for your specific property type. Now, there was a major regulatory shift back in July 2013, thanks to the Dodd-Frank Act. Appraiser assistants must now be supervised strictly by certified appraisers, not just licensed ones. Why does that matter to us? Well, if an assistant working under a merely licensed residential appraiser values your home, that appraisal is straight up invalid for a mortgage. It fails New York State requirements. This is exactly why knowing the precise license type of everyone involved in your valuation is a total game changer. All right, Section 3, the step-by-step verification process. Now, what's really interesting about this is a major point of confusion we need to clear up right away. You must, and I mean must, use the NYSDOS public license search for real estate appraisers. A lot of people accidentally wander over to EXSNY, which is strictly for real estate brokers and salespersons. They come up empty, and naturally, they panic. So remember to keep it strictly to the standard NYSDOS public license search engine to verify appraisers and appraisal management companies. Okay, here's how you actually execute the search. Step 1, pull up the NYSDOS licensee search page on a secure browser. Step 2, choose your search parameter. You can either use their unique ID number or their legal name. Step 3, punch in those exact legal details. If you're going the name route, you'll need a minimum of 2 characters for both the first and last name. And Step 4, review that official status. The results are going to show you their active status, their original certification date, when their license expires, and the principal business they're associated with. Simple as that. Which brings us to Section 4, Essential Resources and Tools. So while the state database is a fantastic starting point, there's another tool you absolutely need for full compliance, especially if you're dealing with federally related mortgage transactions. I'm talking about the ASC National Registry. This thing contains over 340,000 appraiser records nationwide. By cross-referencing your New York appraiser with this federal database, you're verifying their federal eligibility and making sure they comply with national AQB standards. It's basically an extra layer of security. You want to make sure your appraiser is active in both the state portal and the federal registry. Let's move to Section 5, avoiding common search pitfalls. If you run your search and it unexpectedly comes up empty, which trust me is incredibly stressful, it's usually down to one of three things. First up, nicknames. The state database is an official legal record. So if your appraiser goes by Bob, but his legal name is Robert, searching Bob is going to give you 0 results. You absolutely have to use exact legal names. Second, the standard state database only shows currently active licenses. If their license is expired or suspended, it's just not going to show up there. And third, keep in mind there is a bit of a technical lag. There's typically a 30-day update latency between the state registry and the federal ASC registry. So if they literally just renewed in New York, it might take a few weeks to populate on the federal site. Also, because past suspensions or consent orders don't appear in that active license lookup, diligent searchers have another trick up their sleeve. You should definitely check the NYSDOS Office of Administrative Hearings, or OAH, public archive. That archive holds written decisions on past disciplinary actions. And hey, if you ever find yourself in a situation where you need to file a formal complaint yourself, you can do that directly with the Division of Licensing Services by emailing complaints@dos.ny.gov. Finally, Section 6, Summary and Important Disclaimer. Let's quickly recap this dual-platform lookup process, because it really boils down to 3 main takeaways. First, know those 4 specific appraiser tiers so you can be absolutely sure the person has the right authority for your property type and its value. Second, use the correct portal. Remember, that's the NYSDOS public license search, not eAccess NY, for your real-time state compliance. And third, always cross-reference that state data with the ASC National Registry to ensure they are cleared for federal transactions. Hitting all 3 of these steps is the absolute key to a successful verification. Now, before we officially wrap up, I do need to share a quick professional disclaimer. This explainer is strictly for informational purposes, and it doesn't constitute legal or professional real estate advice. If you've got specific transaction concerns, we highly advise you to consult a real estate professional or a legal advisor to help you out. I want to leave you with one final provocative question to chew on. Will you really let just anyone appraise your most valuable asset without checking their credentials first? After today's explainer, you have the exact tools, the know-how, and the strategy to protect yourself, your mortgage, and your future. Take a few extra minutes to verify. I promise you, it is always worth the peace of mind. Thanks so much for joining me today, and happy house hunting!